But the second war is against being controlled by the establishment and the machine. And I'm running against two machine candidates for Cook County State's Attorney. Mike Madigan and Ed Berg and Joe Barrios and Tony Preckwinkle care more about their own power and to control the power of indictment than they care about our community and crime in our streets. One of my opponents is the incumbent, and we all know what she's done. She covers up evidence, she hides evidence, she doesn't prosecute crime no matter who commits it. It's very selective. She's run an office into the ground in the past 7 years, so we're having conversations that we never had to have before about special prosecutors and federal investigations. I've done both. I've been a state prosecutor and a federal prosecutor, so I can tell you that this office should be being investigated right now for its wrongdoing. But my other opponent is no better. She's lied about her credentials, saying to all of us she's tried thousands of cases when she's tried one jury. She's been found guilty of election law violations. How do we elect somebody to be our top prosecutor who's been found guilty of violating the law and says to us all, well, I didn't know I was violating the law, but she certainly took the fall for Ms. Preckwinkle on that one, and she'll continue to take the fall for Ms. Preckwinkle when she becomes if she becomes state's attorney. That's not someone we can have in that office. So we have to stand up here. We are the silent majority, and we've got to stand up and say, you know what? We want to take back our streets, but we want to take back our political system. We need someone in that office who isn't tied to political interests, who doesn't owe every dime of their campaign account to one of the established party people. And the reason they're fighting so hard, let's not forget why they're fighting so hard. We have aldermen, black and white, who don't want an inspector general to be able to look and see how they're spending our money, because that frightens them. Maybe they'll find that they're not spending our money the right way. They don't care, because then they just raise our taxes to get more money. But we need a prosecutor who's willing to look, who's willing to follow the evidence. That's the job of a prosecutor. You know, everybody goes, oh my gosh, how can we let the police do this? How can we not solve crime? Well, when you have witnesses, when you have victims, when you have police coming to you as a prosecutor, your job is to say, you know, this story just doesn't make sense. I've got to dig a little deeper. But nobody wants us to dig deeper. Just like they don't want us to figure out what they're doing with their programs, they don't want to be subject to indictment for breaking the law. We all have to be subject to it, but not them. And that's why I'm running for this office, because I'm a former state and federal prosecutor, and I don't have ties to the establishment. This is my first time running for office, because I grew up here. I love the city where I grew up. I'm raising my family here. I don't have to have this job. I want to do this job. You know, if my opponents, they don't have this job, they're out of a job. I want to do this job. I want to go back into the public sector, and I want to be accountable to one group of people, and that's the voters of Cook County. So I hope you consider voting for me, because this is just as important as our war on violence. Let's take back our political system. Thank you.